Hello and welcome back to Shelf Centered. This is Bryce and I have got my top shelf news yet again. This is where I talk all things science fiction, fantasy as they relate to books and movies, media, TV, you name it. Sometimes some channel updates and always ebook deals. So that's what we're here for. Let's jump right into it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That always helps out. Thank you so much. Let's jump into it. In the books, the book news, we've got a couple cover reveals. Very exciting because I am a newly found fan of this series. We've got the latest in the Murderbot Diaries. That's by Martha Wells. This one is System Collapse. Artist is Jamie Jones. So what's funny is I feel like all of these covers are a complete misnomer. I know that's the wrong word for it. Miscover. Bad, like, they just don't, it's like a humorous series with, you know, like definitely sci-fi and all, everything that's in these covers is in it, but it doesn't get the like humor at all. It's not even close to what humor is actually in it. So it's a little like, they're a little bit like of a bait and switch because these are hilarious and, you know, the Murderbot itself is really just hilarious and just has great outlook on humanity, I guess. We've got a brand new cover. This is the cover for the Tor version of this book. It's Tress of the Emerald Sea. This is the Brandon Sanderson, the first in the secret projects, the first that all the Kickstarter backers but me have received, because I still haven't received mine yet and I would like to, but anyway, because I'll be doing a book unboxing when that comes in, whenever that is. I'm definitely not the first on the list. They did say it would be into February that a lot of people would be getting theirs. It's always production issues, blah, blah, blah. All I know from Kickstarters is that they're always delayed every single time. That artist is Carlos Guimera, and it looks really good, I have to say. Very similar, obviously, to the Kickstarter. They're not really like breaking out of that, which makes total sense. But I think I might like it more than the Kickstarter, so I don't know. Maybe if I got my book and had it, I would like it more. I don't know. But I kind of like the contrast in the colors of this of this new color with that yellow and everything. So anyway, we'll see. I don't know. Is it more fitting? I have no idea. You tell me. All right, then we've got in independent book publishing news, we've got Beast Hunter's Blood Oath by Krister Lenda. Or Lend, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but that artist is Andre Bat, or Bot of 99 Designs. Just cool. I have to say, this is another cover that in, I think, the same series by the same author that has got me very excited to read the books. Definitely, I judge books by their covers. Unabashedly. All right, we've got a whole lot more news for the media, so let's jump into the media. First things first, The Mandalorian Season 3 has a release date. It's going to be March 1st when it's going to start streaming, start screaming, everybody's screaming about it on Disney+. I'm very excited for that, although I really considered the Book of Boba Fett was Season 3. Isn't this really Season 4? Let's be honest. Okay, is that 3.5? Whatever. It was a weird move, I thought, to make the Book of Boba Fett just pretty much Mandalorian 3.5. You could, you know, do your own thing. It was exciting, and I thought those were the best parts of the Book of Boba Fett, which is, again, only emphasizing how the Book of Boba Fett was compared to the excellence and amazingness that is The Mandalorian. So anyway, can't Boba Fett have his own stuff? Can he do his own stuff? Maybe this is it, and then they're gonna go their separate ways. Whatever. Anyway, Season 3, it's going to be good. I'm excited. Pedro Pascal can do no wrong. He is killing it in The Last of Us as well. And speaking of which, let's jump right into it. It's doing so well. It's had, let's see, the second episode. It seems to be climbing. I do not have HBO Max, so I need to get it. And anyway, everybody is talking like it's actually doing a good job. And some of the criticism has been that it follows the video game a little too closely. I don't think is that ever a problem? The problem is always the opposite, right? Anyway, it looks good. Can't wait to see it. And again, Pedro Pascal, like, he's good. He's so good. I want to be him. Well, of course, he's so cool. Anyway, so glad. Anyway, and just happy to see him do well. One of my favorite things that he did was to join the cast of Community and just like laugh at them, with them, I guess I should say, as they did a reading during COVID, and that was excellent. So anyway, check that one out. Much more obscure reference than normal. All right, this is exciting news for George R. R. Martin fans. Hunter's Run has been picked up to get produced into something. Exile content has optioned this off, so option the rights to this to do some kind of filming of it, however that ends up. But that's cool. It's got George R. R. Martin, Gardner Dozois, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Daniel Abraham. At least that's how I've always pronounced Gardner's name. I'll stick with Gardner. But Gardner is the source, and sadly passed away pretty recently, but the source of many, I mean, I literally have a book right here in the background, an anthology that he edited. Just such an epic loss for the science fiction fantasy community when he passed. But this is great to see his legacy kind of keep going, and one of his works kind of move forward. And so that's great. I keep shaking this around. Isn't that great? Isn't it so handy? But anyway, that'll get me to actually maybe read this for once. But I've been eyeing it for ages, and it's one of those that I need to read. All right, then we've got the One Piece, the first poster. This is exciting. It looks pretty much like they're doing One Piece. I mean, it looks, there's not a whole lot I think to like talk about it. It's there, and it's One Piece, and that's cool. And Monkey, and his crew, and they're going to go to the Grand Line and everything and all that. I haven't read a ton. I've read like 6 of them now. Who knows where they're at this point. But that's exciting to have a live action instead of the anime, which anime is great too. But anyway, live action, we'll see how that goes. I don't know. The main one that I know of for anime becoming live action is the Avatar or the Last Airbender one, and that didn't go well. So let's hope it's not that. All right, finally in media news, we've got the top 15 has been declared, the top 15 shows of 2022 that were watched or streamed, and that's pretty impressive. So it's from Nielsen, which I remember back in the day, we got a Nielsen rating card and we filled it out and we did our best to show what we were watching, and it was kind of exciting to be involved in that. And I'm sure it does not work like that anymore. But that's interesting. I thought the amount that Netflix dominated it is that just like a Netflix subscriber is just like a binger or what? But Disney Plus kind of like made it on there a couple times, but I think the things that kind of stood out to me is that Lord of the Rings, I think, was probably expected to do much better, and it did make the top 15 for the top original series. So when you really start qualifying it, you really get into that. I think the surprises to me, I don't think anyone's surprised about like Encanto. That one, like literally my daughter wanted to watch it again like this last weekend, and it was great. It was still good. It's like, I don't know how they did it. It's still a fun movie. We then watched the live version of it, which was really fun to just see the actual actors who are playing the voices who can sing. It's like amazing. How do these people do everything? I'm just so jealous of all of their talents. My gosh. And to see them do everything, anyway, it's fun. But that all is to just say is like, that one's not surprising. The surprising ones are like Seinfeld for me. That was interesting. Surprising ones that were not on the list, just, like MCU stuff was really just not up there. And again, I think some of these were like released in theaters, so maybe your majority of people are watching them there, so you're not going to get the streaming as much. Whereas like Encanto was, I think it was like direct to Disney Plus, and then of course it's for kids. Cocomelon is up there, right? So I mean, you just have something that kids love and will watch 20 times and still not be sick of. Like that's just golden right there, right? The surprising ones for me are always, and I shouldn't be surprised anymore, but like NCIS and all that, like I cannot deny that they're well done shows. They're well produced. The actors are great. There's really nothing on an individual episode that I can really critique. The problem is, seen as a whole, is it not just the same thing every single time? I mean, they're like slight deviations, but like, I just don't get how people can watch the same show over and over again. Whoa, it just like boggles the mind that it's just the same show. Well, there's just like a mystery for the guy. Like, who's the guy that did the thing? Who's the guy that did the thing? Oh no, it's not the one that you were made to believe it was. It's the other guy. Let's do that again. Why is that? How does anybody like not go, okay, now that I've seen 2 of these, I got it. I know how the next one's gonna go. Anyway, sorry, I'll stop that. This is for fantasy and science fiction, and that is a magic that people are able to do that, I guess. I will stop. I gotta stop myself. All right. But anyway, it's an interesting list. Stranger Things topped it, of course. Man, I didn't even get to the one, and of course it did. It was so good. Everybody was talking about it. What's great is that my family, we started actually like the kids are kind of like old enough. With some filters, we were able to watch it together, and they're loving it because all their friends are watching it, and they're like, "Wait, what about us?" And so we're the mean parents that are like, "Go read books." No, you're gonna have nightmares, and we don't want to be up at night. Okay, that's really the reason. But finally watching it, and they're loving it. And it's just great. These kids are just they play them so well. It is exactly like the kids. And what's great is like in the first episode, they have that argument. They're like, he went by Mirkwood. And they're like, from the Lord of the Rings. And then Dustin's like, you mean the Hobbit? And I could say, being almost done with the Fellowship of the Ring, it does mention Mirkwood like once. And then it does have Mirkwood on the maps. So technically it's in Lord of the Rings as well. Not a focus by any means. I'm just saying Dustin. I want to get pedantic here. Sorry, I have very pedantic kids, so I'm constantly on the defense. But I love just like the like how like the nerdiness, and the Duffer Brothers like clearly like know their nerdiness, and I love it. It's so great. They're the ones that should be heading. Just by this little interaction, they're the ones that should be heading the Rings of Power. I'm just saying. I think they do it justice. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for stopping by. I do have ebook deals. There's always some kind of deal going on, so I always include them down below in the description. Check them out. They are affiliate, so it does help the channel out. I literally just got a new microphone and some things, so I'm trying to make this better. I do, at least now, until I can quit my job and everything. I've been putting everything and more back into the channel, so and that's why everyone thinks I'm crazy. Anyway, please don't forget to like and subscribe. This has been Bryce, and you have been on the top shelf. We'll see you later. Bye.